You were sitting in a cafe at a corner table, your delicate fingers wrapped around a cup of freshly brewed Americano, your eyes occasionally glancing at the time on your phone. You were wearing a white blouse and a flowing skirt that brushed against your knees. Your silky dark hair was tied in a loose brand, a few strands dancing gently around your glowing makeup-free face. Despite the pretty view outside and your best friend Sohyun sitting beside you, your thoughts were elsewhere. Your husband Jungkook was coming home early today. It was Thursday. He always made it back around 6 p.m. on Thursdays. Flicker of anxiety passed through your eyes as you took another sip of warm coffee. Sohyun, dressed confidently in a leather jacket and denim shorts, leaned closer with a playful smile. Her friend was sitting beside her, their hands were intertwined. So, how is married life with Korea's most eligible bachelor bestie? She asked. You hesitated. You shifted uncomfortably on your seat. You lowered your gaze, fiddling with the hem of your dress. It's fine. Sohyun narrowed her eyes, instantly picking up on the hesitation. She looked at her friend. She understood that you were feeling hesitated to open up in front of her boyfriend. She leaned closer to him and whispered, mind if I ask you to wait for me in a car parking area? No, princess, take your time. I will be waiting for you outside, he said, and giving her a smile on her cheek, he bowed at you out of courtesy. Sohyun leaned closer to you and grabbed your hand. Tell me properly, don't hesitate, it is only me now. You sighed. There was a long pause. Your heart was thundering loudly in your chest. You whispered, actually, we have not yet. You said. A sad pout appeared on your lips. What? She gasped, slapping the table lightly, causing a spoon to clatter. Someone might hear us. You panicked, your cheeks turning crimson. She leaned in with wide eyes. No way, Ryan. I can't believe. You are telling me it's been 2 months. Nothing at all? You let out a sigh and nodded, lips pressing together tightly. Actually, he comes home late, eats quietly, then sleeps. He's always buried in work or on his phone. I barely get a proper sentence out of him. Sehyun let out a sigh, rubbing her forehead. Hey, go, girl, he's a man. You are his wife. You need to spark something. You blinked. Why are you so innocent? I mean, we are like not these floral grandma dresses. You looked down at your dress, then glanced up shyly. You whispered with wide eyes, yes. You nearly choked on your coffee, your cheeks burned. So, Hyun, no, I can't. Listen, if you don't, you will end up wandering around like a mummy. Show him what he get. She said, her voice dropping seriousness. Your heart skipped a beat. She smiled softly now, brushing your hair behind your ear. Trust me, once you open that door, you noticed slowly, shyly, with heart fluttering with a mixture of nervousness and curiosity. You stood up, hugging her tightly. Thanks, Junie, I will try. She smiled. Go, get your man. She whispered with a wink. You blushed and grabbing your clutch, you walked towards your car. The sky had turned deep pink by the time you arrived at your villa, an elegant two-story house. A soft breeze rustled the trees in the front yard, and the chirping of birds was slowly fading into the coming twilight. You unlocked the front door and stepped inside. The house was pristine, quiet, but it always felt a little too big, too cold. There were his things, your things, but not your things together. Kicking off your shoes, you quickly made your way to the kitchen. You know Jungkook didn't like the oily or overly spicy food, so you started preparing a mild spicy bulgogi with side dishes. He usually finished without complaint. As the rice cooker beeped, you glanced at the clock, 5:10 p.m. It's time to change. You ran upstairs to your bedroom and flung open the wardrobe doors. Your eyes scanned the rows of clothes, but all you saw were long floral frocks, oversized pajamas, casual tees, and soft sweaters. Everything was modest and pastel. You sat pouted in front of your wardrobe. Oh, how could I forget that I have nothing? You sat plopping down on the bed with a thud. You grab your phone and call Sohyun. Yuni, I don't have anything. You went pouty. There was a pause, and then she let out an exaggerated sigh. Then she whispered to her boyfriend. She said to him first, mind if I asked you to make a fresh lemonade for me? You heard the rustle of blankets as her friend got up and went to the kitchen to make a lemonade for her. As Seyun saw him leaving, she spoke. Why am I not surprised? If you don't have something, then don't call me. Yuni, what are you saying? You weren't feeling super shy. Hey, stop whining. Okay, tomorrow we are going for shopping. No arguments for now. Do you at least have a nightgown? You hesitated. Yeah, I do have the lavender silk one. It was gifted by his mother. And I'm sure you have not tried it still now, she said in a mock serious tone. You sat pouted and didn't reply. So Hyun sighed and then spoke. It is okay, don't be sad, that will work for now. Add a little perfume and make sure your hair is open, no braids. You giggled nervously. Okay. After the call ended, you took out the lavender silk nightgown. Though still elegant as you wore it, your heart thumped harder. The fabric hugged your waist gently, stopping mid-thigh. You let your hair down, brushing it softly until it framed your face and fell over your shoulders like ink on proclaim. You looked at yourself in the mirror. Is this good enough? You whispered, your cheeks warm. You sprayed a hint of floral perfume, but your lips nervously and padded barefoot down to the kitchen to set the table. You illuminated the scented candle. After a while, you finished setting the table just in time. The lights were dimmed slightly, giving the dining area a warm, cozy feel, and then the front door opened. You turned slowly to see Jungkook walk in, tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in a sleek black suit, his black tie loosened around his neck. His expression was the same as always, unreadable, composed, and tired, but then his eyes landed on you. For the first time, something shifted in his gaze. His gaze eyes lingered. You gulped and walked to him slowly. Welcome home, you said softly. You are dressed differently today. I thought I would try something new. If you don't like, I can change and you were speaking out, but he cut you off. No, that's fine. Actually, you look beautiful. Your eyes widened and you tightly smiled at him with heart pounding heart. Your eyes met his and your cheeks instantly became red like a tomato. I made dinner. Oh, okay. Then I go upstairs to freshen up. Jungkook said his voice slow and deep as he reached for the collar of his shirt. You nodded shyly, fingers twisting together as your eyes stayed fixed on the warm bowl of soup you had just reheated for the second time. You didn't notice his gaze lingering, but he did. His eyes caught a glimpse of you peeking out through slit your lavender silk gown. Something tense in him, a flicker of confusion dancing across his. A slow burn crept through his chest, making him loosen his tie more as he climbed the stairs. You shyly smiled to yourself, looking at his retreating figure. Inside the room, Jungkook tossed the tie onto the chair and opened the wardrobe, taking out a set of black pajamas. He moved towards the bathroom, glancing one last time at the slightly open window as if needing air. The cold water didn't help. Even under the shower, he found his thoughts drifting back to the subtle glow. He gripped the silk tightly as he stepped out of the shower. He stepped into the bedroom, running a hand through his damp hair. Meanwhile, downstairs, you checked the clock again. It had been 15 minutes. The food was now warm again, but not hot. You stirred the bulgogi nervously and looked up towards the staircase. Why has he not come down yet? Did he get busy with his office work? You murmured to yourself, heart flirting strangely. Maybe he's tired, or maybe he didn't like I am looking tonight. The thought made your stomach twist, gathering courage to place the ladle down, wipe your hands on your apron, and tiptoed upstairs. You gently pushed the door open with a soft click. Your eyes widened. He was standing by the dresser. A squeal escaped your lips as you instinctively stepped back in shock. Your foot caught on the corner of the rug. You lost balance instantly, your arms flaring to the sides, ready to embrace gravity's wrath. But within a heartbeat, Jungkook moved, rushing toward you. He caught you firmly before your back could even hit the ground. You gasped. Your hands clutched his shoulders. Your heartbeat was strong and erratic. Jungkook blinked, his jaw tightening, and your scent like cherry blossom and rain was intoxicating. For a moment, he got slot into your beat, but seeing your closed eyes, he frowned. Ryan, open your eyes. Don't be shy. He spoke softly, his voice a low murmur above your head. I can't, you replied, your cheeks flushing. He chuckled under his breath, his lips curving into a smile. Your eyes flew open at that. You looked at him. His dark hair still wet and flowing over his forehead. Your mouth went dry, covering your face and running towards the door, but your nervous haste caused you to trip on your house slippers. Ah, again, he said in a disbelief and rushed behind you. You managed to get downstairs, hiding your red face behind your hands, and immediately busied yourself with the food like nothing happened. Your heart was racing faster than ever. Whining to herself, I was supposed to attract him. A few minutes later, Jungkook appeared at the table, this time in a fresh black t-shirt and pajama pants. His hair was still damp and he looked calm, except his ears were a little red. You served him politely, I still avoiding case. He picked up the chopstick, silently eating a bite of bulgogi. He paused. This is really good, he said suddenly. You looked up surprised. Really? He nodded. Yeah, your cooking skills have been improved a lot. Your cheeks turned pink. Thank you. He smiled and shook his head. After dinner, you both went to your bedroom. You were laying on your side and were looking at him as he dozed off. He looked tired. Why am I like this? But I always end up hiding behind my own nervousness. You thought to yourself, looking at his charming face. The sharpness of his daytime coolness melted away in slumber, replaced by the softness of long lashes and slightly parted lips. A small smile touched your lips, and with that you fell asleep. The next morning, sunlight filtered through the windows and landed softly on your cheeks, waking you up gently. You stretched with a quiet yawn and tiptoed to the bathroom. After a refreshing shower, you headed downstairs to prepare breakfast. After preparing the breakfast, you began to set the table. Then came the familiar sound of footsteps. You turned and saw Jungkook, dressed sharply in a tailored black suit, his hair brushed neatly. His presence has always felt powerful, like someone come straight out of a fashion magazine. He looked at you with a smile and sat on the chair. You looked at him, your voice trembled a little. Jungkook, I was wondering, can I go to the shopping mall today with Sohyun? He was putting steak in his plate, his brows furrowed just slightly as if thinking deeply. You can go. You blinked in surprise, but I will send my trusty driver with you. He added. You don't have to. He tilted his head. You are my responsibility now, and I want to protect you, Wyan, always. I want to be on your side. Your heart skipped a beat, his voice hit you like a warm breeze. Okay, thank you. After having the breakfast, he bid you a goodbye, giving him a warm smile and left. You called Sohyun immediately after the door closed. Yuni, I am ready. Let's go shopping. 30 minutes later, the car pulled up with Jungkook's person driver at the wheel. You stepped in and were greeted by Sohyun, who was already bubbling with excitement. You laughed nervously as the driver pulled out of the driveway and headed towards the city's biggest mall. Inside the section of department store, you stood like a lost puppy while Sohyun darted between racks. This one, she held up a red dress. Your jaw dropped. No, I can't, she groaned. That's why we are buying this, dear. You covered your face shyly, but shut up and just hold it. She piled a bunch of scanless pieces into your arms. As she continued sorting through the racks, your eyes wandered towards the accessories section, and there you froze, a display of belly button rings and waist chains. Your gaze softened. You used to wear them those before your marriage, tiny delicate pieces with butterflies and gemstones. They made you feel feminine, confident like yourself. Your fingers ran over a silver butterfly design and a rose gold heart shaped one. You smiled and picked a beautiful waist chain with bell button piercing. As you returned to Sohyun, she looked at the small shopping bag in your hand and scolded. Let me guess, you bought these things. You nodded sheepishly. You are hopeless, but I like these. She huffed but smiled eventually. Oh, bestie, when would you grow up? You both laughed and left. Time skipped. It was almost evening. The fading orange light spilled across the floor of your bedroom like honey, warming it the soft sheets and touching the edge of the wardrobe door you would left open. The shopping bags were scattered on the floor. You stood in front of the mirror, clutching the red dress picked up for you, the one you had sworn you would never wear. It was undeniably beautiful. Your fingers trembled as you tried it on, but the moment you looked in the mirror, oh my, you gasped. Your heart raced with panic. No, 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 I can't wear this. You rushed, folding it quickly and shoving it back into the bag like it was contraband. Your eyes landed on the little velvet pouch on the dresser. Inside were the belly button rings and delicate gold waist chain you had bought earlier. You looked at yourself in the mirror and whispered, breath shaky after wearing them. I hope this makes him crazy. Suddenly the bell rang. You heard it, but instead of opening the door, you rushed to the study room as nervousness again clouded you. Tuesday, Jungkook arrived earlier than usual, a file folder tucked under one arm and his brows slightly furrowed. He rang the bell once, then twice, but when there was no response, he used the spare key and stepped inside. The villa was too quiet. Where is she? He wondered, removing his shoes and setting his briefcase down. Wyan? He called, looking around, but no answer. He walked upstairs, loosening his tie. The bedroom was empty. He noticed your mobile lying on the bed. His brow frowned. He sighed, running a hand through his hair, and then walked towards the bathroom. But his thoughts lingered. Where could you be? Even as water rained down his intense body. After the shower, he sat on the bed, hair damp, worry still etched on his face, and then clicked. The door creaked open, and you stepped inside. His eyes snapped up. You walked in slowly, your steps soft, your figure glowing in the evening light. Your eyes didn't waver, no more hiding, no more running away. This time you were in control. Jungkook curved visibly. You walked towards him slowly, his step deliberate, the soft sound of your chin acting like a rhythm only he could hear. His eyes darkened. You sat beside him on the edge of the bed with a smile. He looked at you sideways. You gave him a calm little smile, lips curling upward in a mischievous smile. You shifted just slightly. Jungkook's sharp eyes were fixed on you, the chain creating the soft melodic chime again. His jaw clenched. His voice was low, deep, heavy with warning. Don't start something. You gulped but didn't break the eye contact. After a while, you lay tangled in sheets, the thin blanket covering you, glowing with sweat and blush of new. Jungkook had gone to the bathroom and you were still catching your eyes wander across the room. Your phone was beside the pillow. You reached for it slowly and tapped open a message window. Uni or plan worked. You barely had to wait. I knew it. You blushed and quickly hid your face under the blanket, heart fluttering like crazy.